Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be doing my own nails, and if you're a procrastinator like I am, this is going to be perfect in time for this last minute Christmas set. I have been rocking my natural nails just for a little bit and I decided to do my own nails. So we're going to go ahead and start off by prepping my natural nail. I am using my e-file from Not Polish at a speed of about 12,000. The lies. At a speed of about 4,000 RPMs. It is a little bit on the stronger side, so if you need to knock it down to 3 or even sometimes 2, I tend to do that sometimes just depending on the grit of my sanding band, but I am using a medium grit, so we should be fine. I'm gonna go ahead and do some cuticle work. My nails have been crusty, dusty, and neglected, so I'm gonna be using this cuticle bit from Profiles Backstage, still at 4,000 RPMs. Again, you can knock it down, or if you have stubborn skin stuck right there, you can always knock it up to 5, but I wouldn't put it past that at all. Next, I'm gonna be nipping off that excess cuticle, that dead, nasty skin that I used to be terrified to nip off, and now I'm comfortable. So here we are. Look at me, how far we have come. I'm gonna go ahead and just carefully nip that off, and it is such a satisfying step. Absolutely love doing this now. But now we're gonna go in with my cuticle ball bit. This is my all-time favorite. If you are scared like I used to be of nippers, this is a 10 out of 10, and I highly always recommend this, especially when you are scared to cut somebody. This is the safe route, and I'm still going in just a smidge because I like to get into those hard to reach areas with this one and file off all of that dead skin. Now for today's video, I am actually going to be using press-on nails. If you guys like gel-X system, any type of press-on nails that are applied with gel, these are from Not Polish. So 10 out of 10 recommend these. I used them on my last set and I absolutely love the fit of them on my natural nail. So these are going to be my favorite and go-to for the rest of the time that I ever use these type of nails. I am going to go ahead and file the inside of the tip. A lot of the time you don't have to do this, but if you want to prevent them from just popping off at any point, especially during the second or third week that you have these on, definitely file the inside. That's gonna help them stick on to your nail a lot longer. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and also blend the edge of it a little bit more so that it is nice and flush to my natural nail. This is one of those things that you could always do afterwards, but I have learned that you get a nice and clean look if you do it before. So I'm actually going to be using their little Pro Light. Absolutely love it. I think this is the first time that I've used it. I'm not sure if I've showed it before, but oh my gosh, it is a game changer. I went ahead and applied the amount of gel that I think I need for the length of my natural nail, and it was actually pretty good. All you have to do is turn it on. So before you get started, turn on your light from the little on button, and then you could just touch the underneath of it to turn it on when you are ready to cure. So it makes it such an easy process to do these type of nails, especially on yourself, because you don't have to struggle with the light, holding it with the other hand. And especially when you're doing clients as well, you can just nicely tap it. I've actually been using it with my knuckle, and that seems to help, but pretty much any type of skin that you touch against the light, it will turn it on and it'll also turn it off. So absolutely love this. This is such a game changer. If you have been looking for a little lamp like this, definitely recommend it. And don't forget to use my discount code to save a little bit of money. But I will leave everything linked down below as always. I am actually using the No Wipe gel for gel-X systems from Opre. I'm using that because I have learned that it's a lot easier to use something that is no wipe versus something that's tacky, and to be able to clean underneath there is a little bit tricky with that. So I've just been using that. If you guys have a different brand that y'all recommend that is also no wipe, definitely let me know in the comment section. But now that we have adhered all of our gel press-on nails, I'm gonna go ahead and just lightly file the tip. Sometimes they have those little pieces of plastic that stick out. We don't want that. We need a nice crisp shape. I'm gonna go ahead and blend in that tip just a little bit more to get that nice flush area. Because we already pre-did this part is going to be super minimal. I'm just making sure that there's zero gel spillage in that cuticle area. You want to make sure, one, to get a nice and clean look, but also so that you prevent any lifting issues. Even though these stay on very, very well, I still want a nice clean look. Next, for our base color, I'm actually going to be using this Chon Legend gel polish. This color is so pretty. It's such a perfect pink nude color, and it looks really good on my skin tone, not to toot my own horn, but I think it just looks super, super cute. So this is going to be our base. I'm going to be adding 2 layers of that because it is sheer. So I want to minimize the amount that you can see through with the amount of coats that I add on there. And to me, the perfect amount is just 2 coats. So I'm using 2 very light coats of this beautiful pink color, curing it in the light. And then here I am applying the second one. You can see how much more opaque it gets, and the color is just a little bit more vibrant. So going ahead and applying that very carefully on the entire surface of the nail, and then make sure you cure in the light for a full 60 seconds. Now I did want to add a little bit of sparkle to some of my nails. So for a beautiful ombre glitter look, I'm going to be taking this opal gel polish from Profiles Backstage, and I am going to be putting it throughout my set, which is on my thumb, my middle finger, and my pinky. And then we're going to cure that in the light, of course. I'm going in with this stunning, beautiful dark green color that is perfect for Christmas time. This color is my obsession around this time. It just looks so beautiful, and I think it just looks very beautiful. So we're gonna go ahead and do half of my thumbnail in that. I'm taking my liner brush from Veeda and cleaning up those little details, and again applying that glitter on my middle finger as well. You kind of see me going back and forth because I never know exactly what I'm doing until I'm actually doing my nails. So I'm pretty much going nail by nail and picturing it in my head, and then we execute it on the nail. So for this one, we're gonna be doing like a diagonal stripe of green. I'm going to be doing sweater on top of it, so that knitted look is going to be on top of the surface of this. So this is pretty much my base for that. I'm adding that on as one good, nice, even coat, and then we're curing it in the light for 60 seconds. For our ring finger, we're going to be doing a peppermint look, and I'm going in with the green little swirly lines. And then we're going to go in with a candy cane look as well to just tie everything together. But I'm first starting off with my base, which is my green, and infilling that very carefully. I am using the long liner from Veeda. This is my go-to for line work or anything that is super skinny that needs to be nice and perfect. So I always love using this brush, and you can see how easily I was able to draw those lines and then just infill the rest of that. Now for our index finger, I'm going to be doing the backward A hack. So if y'all struggle with your Frenchies, this is such an old hack. Everyone's been doing it for the longest time, but I know some of us sometimes forget that this exists. So I'm pretty much doing a line across wherever I want it to end or start. And then you do 2 lines coming down from the sides, infill the rest of that. And y'all see how easy that was? I got the perfect French look, especially when you have the right tools and the right products that you are using. So again, using the long liner from Veeda and the same green gel polish from Charm Legend. For our pinky, we're also going to be doing another little stripe for our sweater base, and I'm kind of just doing it in the middle off to the side, and super simple. You can kind of mix and match. I could have done another Frenchie on that one, could have done another half nail or a full nail if you desire. Absolutely love mix and match nails. They are my favorite because you let the creativity flow. Now for our Frenchie, I'm going to be adding in all the white first. So y'all saw me outline the French nail in a thin white line, and then I'm going to be doing that pretty much alongside all of the designs. And that is going to be our base for our candy cane design. So I'm going in again with the long liner. I'm actually using a mixture of the Vita Bella gel paint in color white and a white liner. I believe it's from Profiles Backstage. I use that to kind of make it a little bit less thick, and it gets the perfect opaque white look. And I think it's just so perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and add a diagonal line on my middle finger. And then we are finishing off the ring finger as well and the pinky. And as always, don't forget to cure in the light for a full 60 seconds. Now for this next step, I'm not even gonna lie, I overthought this and I struggled a little bit, and then I remembered that I could just use my micro detail brush to get all those tiny little details. And it made my life so much easier. So I'm gonna go in with a red color. For this, I am using the red liner from Profiles Backstage and a mixture of the Vita Bella gel polish. So it's gonna make this beautiful, deep, but bright red color. And we're just gonna be doing our little stripes very carefully, very gentle. It was really hard to do this. I did not think about how hard it was gonna be on such a tiny white line. But when I tell you, I absolutely was obsessed with the look once I was done. It was well worth the struggle. So I held my breath throughout this entire process, making sure that I was getting those tiny little red lines perfect. And then we go ahead and cure for a full 60 seconds as always. Now I went back and forth on whether I wanted to do matte because y'all know I'm a matte girly, but for these specifically, especially since they are shorter almond nails, I feel like a shiny, crisp look just looks so good with these. And since I did have that little bit of glitter in it, I wanted it to just stand out a smidge. So I'm actually going in with a top coat that is shiny. We're going to be adding a thin layer of that. This one is from Chon Legend. I couldn't find my other glossy one, so I decided to just go with this one, and it did not disappoint. I absolutely love the quality of this top coat. So I'm going to go in again with a thin layer of that, cure it in the light for a full 60 seconds, and then we're going to move on to our sweater knitted design. Now, I know it's going to be a little bit hard to see this on camera, but I'm going to walk you guys through it. So you're pretty much doing two lines next to each other, leaving spaces in between the next set of lines. You can kind of see it in the sheen of the video, but it is pretty much like you are doing lines next to each other all the way down, and then you are connecting the one on the left to the one on the right at the bottom of it. So as you can see, you're pretty much doing this cable little design, super, super easy. You can make them a little bit thicker if you feel like they're too skinny. But once we layer on that acrylic to give it the texture that we want, it thickens it up a little bit more. So do note that you don't want it to be super, super thick. I went ahead and added clear acrylic powder, poured it over top, and you want to repeat that a few times until you don't see any type of shine to that gel polish. I feel like that is one of the biggest things that you want to make sure you do while doing this, is continue to add it on there as it seeps into the gel polish until there's zero shininess to it and it is all nice and matte because of that powder. And then you're going to fully cure that in the light for a full 60 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and do all of the ones that I'm doing with this pattern before I cure it. You can always go in as well, instead of with a clear acrylic powder, you can always do the same color that you are using, but make sure that it is very similar because sometimes it will make it look a little bit weird. So I did go in the second round with a green powder and it came out so perfect. So always make sure that you try to match everything as best as possible. So again, we're adding those two lines next to each other all the way down, leaving spaces in between, and then connecting the opposites together. Adding that powder until it is fully matte. Tap off the excess, cure it in the light. I went in with a second layer of that, but this is pretty much the result. Absolutely love how they turned out. Let me know what you think down below. And as always, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a ton, and I'll see you guys next time.